Chapter 1, text 200,
103.
103. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
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 Jaya Vita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
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 Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
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 Jaya Vita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Vita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Vita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta
Jaya Vita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta
Vrinda.
Vrinda.
On the verses in favor. Sei dui prabhura kari charana vandana.
Sei dui prabhura kari charana vandana.
Yaha haite vigna nasha abhishta purana.
Yana haite vigna nasha abhishta purana.
Sei dui prabhura kari charana vandana.
Sei dui prabhura kari charana vandana.
Yaha haite vigna nasha abhishta purana.
Yana haite vigna nasha abhishta purana.
Now the translation of the words. Say, this, dui, tu,
prabhura
of the Lord, kari, I do, charan, feet, vandana, obeisance, yanha haite, from which, vigna nasha,
Vighnash,
destruction of obstacles,
destruction of obstacles,
Abhishta Purana,
Abhishta Purana,
fulfillment of desires,
fulfillment of desires.
Translate. Let us therefore worship the whole feet of these two lords. Thus, one can be rid of all difficulties on the path of self-realization. Let's repeat this verse. Let us therefore worship the whole feet of these two lords. Thus one can be rid of all difficulties on the path of self-realization. Next verse. Edo isloke khaila mangala vandana tritiya slokera artha shuna sarvajana. Translate. I have invoked the benedictions of the Lord with these two verses. Now, please hear attentively the purport of the third. What is the two verses? Two verses are the these verses. Next verse. Vaktavya Bahulya Granta Vistarera Dhari Vistarena Varni Sahasta Kahi Alpakshare. I purposely avoid extensive descriptions for fear of increasing the bulk of this book. I shall describe the essence as concisely as possible. And then there is an interesting quotation like this. I think it's a popular saying. Mitam nasaram chavacho vagnita iti. Essential truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. Essential truth is spoken concisely is true eloquence. Now we have 2-3 verses to finish this chapter. And then we finish this chapter. Shunile kandibe chitera agyanadi dosh. Krishna Gada Preme Habe Paivi Santosh. Simply healing servicely will free one's heart from all the faults of ignorance, and thus one will achieve deep love for Krishna. This is the path of peace. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Dvaita Mahatva Tanha Bhakta Bhakti Nama Prema Rasa Tattva Bina Bina Likyati Karya Vichara Sunileja Nivesaba Vastu Tattva Sara. Translation. If one patiently hears about the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita Prabhu, and their devotees, devotional activities, name, fame, and the mellows of their transcendental loving exchange, one will learn the essence of the absolute truth. Therefore, I have described this in Chaitanya Charitamrita with logic and discrimination. This is Krishna Das Kaviraj speaking. I repeat this verse. If one patiently hears about the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and Sri Advaita Prabhu, in their devotees, devotional activities, name, fame, and the mellows of their transcendental loving exchanges, one will learn the essence of the absolute truth. Therefore, I have described this in Chaitanya Charitamrita with logic and discrimination. In the last verse of this chapter, first chapter, is the verse that repeats all the ends of all chapters. Sri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yarash Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I Krishna Das narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus, and the Bhaktivedanta purpose to the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, first chapter, describing the spiritual masters. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami ki, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Today is the auspicious day, the appearance of Madhvacharya. I have some information about the life of Madhvacharya. Let's see. Sri Madhvacharya was born in 1238. He lived 79 years. A little more, 100 years after Ramanujacharya. And then appears Sri Madhvacharya. His parents were Narayana Bhatta and Vedavati, brahmanas of humble status. in the village of Pajaka, near the town of Udupi, state of Karnataka. His original name was Vasudeva. At 7 years old, he had his upayana, the ceremony of the sacred thread, Brahmana, and went through the course of Vedic and Shastra studies. Probably at the age of 16, he took sannyas from Achyuta Preksha. He got the name of Purna Pragya. And then he spent his time in studying the Vedic classics, beginning with the one book is Istasidi de Vimukatma. Istasidi de Vimukatma is one successor of Shankaracharya. And then he was learning Advaita Vedanta because his guru, Achyuta Preksha, belongs to the line of Shankaracharya. He is not Vaishnava. He was not Vaishnava. However, frequent arguments between master and disciple terminated the studies before long. And then he have some philosophical discussions with his own guru, Achyuta Preksha. And he was very young. He took sannyasa at 16 years old. And then this Purna Pragya, his name of sannyas, was then made head of the mat of Achyuta Preksha. He becomes a leader of the mat. And he got the name Ananda Tirtha. And then changed the name, Ananda Tirtha. The name Madhva was assumed by him for certain esoteric reasons connected with his claim to be an avatar of Vayu. And then he himself gave his name Madhva. Was considered one avatar of Vayu. Very good. He possessed an uncommon psyche, the extraordinary intellectual power. No. He possessed an uncommon strength, physical strength. He's very strong, man. Very, very strong. And extraordinary intellectual power. There's something that Madhvacharya he made. Once said there is one in South India, near Udupi, there is one block of stone that like 100 people does not can lift. But Madhvacharya, he lived alone. On an occasion, he put his finger, I think the feet on the soil, in the ground, and asked someone to take his feet out the ground. And no one could do this. Yes, one strength extraordinary like this. And also something extraordinary, there's one festival. He ate like one quantity, like an absurd quantity of bananas. Bananas. People brought these capsules of bananas. And he was eating like this. People become like this. Something extraordinary. Person like this. Out of any pattern. Like this. Sri Madhava spent some time in Udupi teaching the other disciples of Achyuta Prusatraya. And then he developed his own Siddhanta, different from his master, Achyuta Prusatraya. Now he's sannyas now. He's sannyas. And then he made his first traveling on South India. He went to a tour in Trivandrum, Kanyakumara, Srirangam, Rameshwaram. And this tour took 2 or 3 years. 2 or 3 years. Back to Udupi, Sri Madhava was resolved to establish a new Siddhanta and began his career as an author. His first literary work was the Gita Bhashya. Then he started for his first North India tour. At the Badrinath, Madhvacharya left by himself for Mahabhadarikashrama, the abode of Vyasadeva, in the upper regions of the Himalayas. He was together with some disciples, and he said, "We stay here, I'll go ahead." And he started going to Himalayas alone, like this. And then he went to go to the Mahabhadarikashrama, the abode of Vyasadeva. It said that he met Vyasadeva, like this. There is no witness of that. He returned after some months. Inspired by Vyasadeva, he wrote his Brahma Sutra Bhashya, the commentary of Vedanta Sutra. Which was transcribed by his dictation by his disciple Satyatirtha. The return trip to Udupi, he went through Bihar and Bengal. and to the banks of Godavari in Madhya Pradesh. Where Madhvacharya had a debate with the veteran scholar Shobhana Bhatta, who was defeated. He became his important disciple under the name of Padmanabha Tirtha. It's a Tirtha because his name of sannyasi Ananda Tirtha. Another important conversion during his tour was of Narahari Tirtha. The first North Indian tour was fruitful and caused considerable impression on the people. Till then, Madhava's criticism of the Advaita Vedanta and other prevailing schools had been merely destructive. He had not offered him a new commentary, a new bhashya, in place of those he had so ruthlessly criticized. But with the publication of his commentaries on Gita and the Brahma Sutra, no one could say he had no alternative system to offer in place of those he criticized. And also he criticized the philosophy of Ramanuja, like this. Because his philosophy of Madhvacharya is the dualism, Dvaita. The philosophy of Shankaracharya, Advaita. Non-dualism. And then the philosophy of Madhvacharya, Dvaita, the other side. The philosophy of Ramanuja, Vishishta Advaita, non-dualism qualified. And he says that, Madhvacharya says, oh, Ramanuja is very close to Shankaracharya. The Advaita philosophy is that everything is one. And the Dvaita philosophy, no, dualism. In one side is the Supreme Lord, and the other side is the jivas and this material world. He says that the Supreme Lord is Swatantra, absolutely independent. And the jivas and this material world is Paratantra, is dependent on the Supreme Lord. This is basically the philosophy of Madhvacharya, like this dualism. And then this philosophy of Madhvacharya, afterwards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu improved this with the philosophy Achintya Veda Veda. It's not that it's Advaita nor Dvaita, but a combination. Veda Veda, or Dvaita Advaita. But this philosophy is very important in Madhvacharya by the how we can relate with God. It's very much religious. The Supreme Lord is independent of us. his first achievement after his return to Udupi was the conversion of his very Guru Achyuta Preksha to the new Siddhanta that he is presenting. He was defeated, not without a first resistance. Madhvacharya now had got many converts and adherents. In that time he installed the beautiful deity of Lord Krishna in his mat in Udupi. This, I don't know if it is real, is a fact or legend. But people say that he was on the beach. Udupi is on the coast side. And he saw one boat. And this boat was in danger because there is one bank of sand, and then the boat would be blocked in this bank of sand. And Madhvacharya, he knew about that. And then he tried to guide this boat. Don't go in this way, go in this way. Like this. And then the boat was saved. Like this. And then the owner of the boat, he was bringing goods from Dwarka. And then he asked Madhvacharya, you can choose anything in this boat because you save. I would have problems like this. And then he saw in the boat there is one block of clay, in order to give the weight for the boat, like this. Block of clay. I said, I want this block of clay. There are so many valuable things, but he said, but inside this block of clay, there's a deity of Krishna, which was worshipped at Purukimini. And this Krishna, this deity of Krishna, is worshipped in Udupi, in the main temple of Udupi. It's very important deity. Udupi. And then Madhvacharya installed Krishna in Udupi, like this. And then Madhvacharya became very powerful. He established his mat. He divided this mat in 8 sections. And each one, there's one leader. And from these 8 different mats, he started different parampara inside the line of the Brahma Sampradaya. Anyway, there is some basic difference between the philosophy of Madhvacharya and the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There's some difference like this. But it is one genuine sampradaya. The goal of this sampradaya is the worship of Lakshmi Narayana. It's an orthodox Vaishnava, too much into the Varnashrama, Dharma. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is fully liberal. And then the type of prema of the sampradaya is Vaikuntha prema.
Et bien sûr, leur prême à eux, c'est Vaikuntha prême, c'est-à-dire un amour qui doit aller.
Interesting. Nowadays there is this sampradaya is strong, but in certain places, in Udupi. I've been there in Udupi several times. Interesting, the deity of Krishna is not like your open altar like this. No, it's secluded. And then you can see the deity through one small window. Small window you can see like this. And there is 8 different mats like this. And then the leader of each mat take care of the deity, I think, on turn, 2 and 2 years, change like this. And they do very nicely. It's very impressive type of worship they do like this. The sannyasis do the worship like this and this. Krishna of Udupi. But it's a very closed sampradaya. There's no preaching. That's one sannyasi was very friend of ISKCON. Recently, I think he passed away. He came to Mayapur, one sannyasi only, because most of them, they don't consider it ISKCON. You say that we are one branch of Brahma Sampradaya, but us are the original Brahma Sampradaya. They don't care. But one sannyasi was very friend. Even he became very friend of the sannyasi. What's his name? English sannyasi. My friend, I forgot his name. Oh, okay. But the only one who was friend of ISKCON, like he came to Mayapur several times. But once I was in Udupi, I could see what is the mood. Like this. There's one meeting. One sannyasi was speaking to a big audience, but they speak in the local language, Karnataka. Even in other Indians cannot understand. And then I could see that how Srila Prabhupada was so genius that he made this English language the official language. And then we can speak English here in France like this. And I said that it's very close. He's speaking just to the people, local people like this. Even in India cannot express because they speak in their language. But Srila Prabhupada spread the Krishna consciousness all over the world. And there's a big difference like this. It's universal religion. Because that Srila Prabhupada is the Jagat Guru. Even something in the Sampradaya seems very traditional. For example,
Dans leur Sampradaya, c'est très traditionnel.
I knew one person who was sannyasi in the Brahma Sampradaya. Someone presented. But he traveled to US,
Il est parti aux USA.
but in the Vedic scripture said that the sannyasi cannot cross the ocean. And he lost his status as sannyasi like this. I don't know if nowadays it's like this. This was 30 years ago or more. Like this. Very traditional. Like this. But we can see how Srila Prabhupada was so intelligent to establish his mission around the world. Different. But we are connected to Brahma Sampradaya through Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was too much influenced by Madhavendra Puri. He was really Radha Krishna Bhakta. Although in Madhava Sampradaya they consider that Krishna is avatar of Krishna. Another great devotee in the line of Chaitanya was Baladeva Vidyabhushan. He was before initiating the Madhava Sampradaya. And then afterwards he could understand the Radha Krishna code. But anyway, Madhvacharya, the importance of Madhvacharya was he was the greatest fighter against the philosophy of Shankaracharya. Like this. And another thing is that he wrote many books. But his books, Madhvacharya, he was so intellectual. His books, no one could understand. And then it said that these books of Madhvacharya would be lost because no one can understand his language. But one disciple of him, Jayatirtha, he commented all books of Madhvacharya, and the people could understand like this. Because Jayatirtha, one Acharya in the line of Madhvacharya, his disciple. And then because it is so complex, like how his intellect is so heavy, like this, it would be difficult to understand directly. And then he commented all the books of Madhvacharya. And then, as it is one genuine Sampradaya, Vaishnava, full Vaishnava, worship the Supreme Lord, and also the main deities of the Sampradaya is Krishna. Like this. But they are Vaikuntha
Mais ils
people.
nettement influencés par les Vaikuntha.
But they are pure Vaishnavas.
Mais ce sont des
Namadabhacharya ki.
Jai.
Any comment?
The Krishna from Udupi is alone. There's no Radharani.
No, alone.
Il n'y a pas de
So
Alone.
in what mood do they worship him?
Huh?
In what mood do they worship him?
Quel est le,
Like
le
Lakshmi Narayana?
sentiment, le rachat?
No, no, there's no the female deity
Mais il n'y a pas de,
like this. I
de
think
mythe
she's,
féminine sur
I think it, it's not the Pancharatrika
C'est pas
worship
le Pancharatrika.
of deities. It's Vedic worship. And then it's more in the mood of the historic Krishna, Parthasarathi, Krishna in Kurukshetra,
Historique,
battle
chemin de départ
like this.
de leur
As in general, in India,
En général,
the people consider Krishna as the historic Krishna.
ils pensent que Krishna est historique.
Everybody knows Krishna,
Tout le monde connaît Krishna.
but they don't give importance to these
Une figure historique.
Leelas in Vrindavan.
Les lilas de Vrindavan souvent sont
No, it's not important like this. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh, this is the real Krishna, Krishna of Vrindavan. And then there's one avatar. Krishna came and spoke Bhagavad
Ils
Gita.
vont dire oui, Krishna est un avatar.
This Krishna Bhagavad Gita, like
Ah,
this.
ils vont dire oui, Krishna est un avatar.
Yes,
Ah,
yes.
non, c'est la Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
I read that in that encounter when Madhvacharya met with Srila Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva told him, you're the most intelligent person in the universe, you will become Brahma next time.
Yeah, maybe.
I was reading both.
No, in fact, he was an extraordinary person. Like no one is equal.
Lorsqu'il a rencontré Vyasadeva, Vyasadeva lui a dit, c'est la personne la plus intelligente dans l'univers, tu deviendras Brahman en fait.
He has some strange philosophy like this, some different, just unique of him.
Il avait une philosophie très sympa.
For example, he says that there are three types of jivas.
Il explique par exemple les trois types de jivas.
Jivas in sattva guna, jivas in raja guna, jivas in tama guna. Only jivas in sattva guna can achieve liberation.
Seulement, dit-il, les jivas qui sont dans le sattva-guna peuvent-ils atteindre la libération.
Jivas in raja guna,
Les jivas
full of desires, material desires,
qui sont
live in this
des
earth planet.
ils vont rester sur
The jivas in tama
les
guna,
jivas qui sont dans le sattva-guna,
they go to heavenly planets and they are happy there.
ils vont dans les cieux, ils sont
Jivas in raja guna and jivas in tama guna does not think in liberation. They don't want
les
it.
jivas dans le sattva-guna, raja-guna,
They want to be happy here.
ils restent ici.
And he uses the Bhagavad Gita for
Il est utilisé
like for in the 17th chapter, there are some
Dans le 17e chapitre,
3 classes of faith.
il y a 3 types de foi.
Yeah. But he puts this in relation to Jivas like this.
Et pour lui,
Anyway,
il définit
only Madhvacharya accepted that.
il définit le jiva.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu afterwards come to
Madhva était le seul à
save the most fallen people in the world.
au contraire
Like this.
à expliquer que les êtres sont tout déchus ici dans ce monde.
In fact, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu makes the difference.
Alors que
Like this.
il ne faisait qu'une
Because he is the very Krishna.
qu'il
In
était
the whole of
Radha.
like this. And makes the difference.
Donc il ne faisait aucune différence.
Okay? Yes.
Maharaj, parece um paradoxo que para as pessoas mais caídas do mundo, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ele deu a mais alta forma de adoração. Como que o senhor pode...
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most merciful. Mahavadanya avatar. That Krishna distribute Krishna prema to anyone. Like this. This is the difference. And it's very liberal. There's no this strict rules of Varnashram. He broke everything. The social rules. Like this. These are our Chaitanya. Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
We can have darshan of this deity, foreigners.
Yes.